Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Today we got another patch drops for the 25th of May, so I just want to quickly go through it because it's got some interesting changes, some of which I just completely disagree with, So, the bits that I disagree with, and we'll start off with, we have adjustment on Corvette's HP and armor. So, more or less, all the Corvettes have lost their armor, going from 2 armor to 0 armor, and they all got a HP buff. Roughly about 10%, somewhere around there. This was absolutely not necessary at all. The developer comment here is, in the settings of Lagrange network, Corvettes have the continuous output capability and volume equivalent to small capital ships. The current structure of Corvettes doesn't match their technical settings, so we have improved the overall survivability of Corvettes in this update. Now, I can sort of see where they're coming from. They're saying, well, they're quite big ships. They don't really look like they'd have, well, they don't currently have all this HP to, suggest they're bigger than they actually are. Which, it's fine. Lore-wise, it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, gameplay-wise, it's absolutely and utterly ridiculous. Because at the current moment in the game, there is only one real meta, and it is swarm fleets. And there is no way to counter mass aircraft in any way. Except running mass aircraft of yourself. And before the whales comment, oh, I just run this. Well, most of us aren't whales. So, if you came up against a whale using swarm, you're going to struggle because, they're just too efficient. The Vitus B being like quite a big problem at the moment. It does absurd amounts of damage. It costs no CP to carry in, well, itself. So you just stick it on your best carrier, you buff its damage up on the carrier as well. Corvettes are in the similar situation. T-800s, Cellular Defenders, the Nebula Chaser after the changes, the Pulse version is smashing things apart. Although it still does have the problem of being shot down quite rapidly. The weighting on the Nebula Chaser Pulse is still quite bad. However, things like Cellular Defenders, you really don't lose that many unless you're against another swarm fleet. There is no counter at the moment. Yes, we have got Xeno Defenders, defensive. It's actually pretty good, and it will do some damage. We have the Ion Ruby. Yes, it does do some damage. At 5-7 minute fights, you're looking at like 90k AA coming out the Ions, and similar sort of numbers for the Xeno Defensive, which is very good. But you're talking about taking hundreds of thousands of damage on yourself while trying to kill these with ship-based AA. It's just not going to happen. These will beat you. So, in my current opinion, this is a terrible change for the game. If anything, the HP should be nerfed on them so they die quicker, and that may make the likes of Ruby Ions and Xeno Defensives better, and it gives you a potential counter for Swarm Fleet without having to run a mirrored Swarm Fleet of yourself, because at the current moment the only thing you can really do is just mirror whatever the opponent's got and hope you've got more tech points, so you get a bit lucky with the crits and stuff, and you win out, because there is no sort of AA as it were in the game. That being said, there are some other changes here. So we got 2 added, the ways to obtain activeness in the Dawn funding scheme. Complete quests or facility construction can both bring an increase in the activeness. That's a nice little change. I personally never had any issue with the Dawn funding scheme. Just the activeness alone each week was enough to, get all level 50. I think it's 50 in it. So yeah, it wasn't too much of an issue for me, but it's nice that this has been added. It helps for maybe some of the newer players and stuff like that. Rush up. I know a lot of people in Phase 1 have missed the ST59 because, some people, you go on holiday, you lose a week, and that can cause all sorts of issues with trying to complete this. And you're obviously in Phase 1, unless, spending money, not going to be strong enough to try and do the kill 2,000 ships or whatever it is, or 3,000 ships a week. So, good change there. 3 added the feature to check the details of system damage in the battle report. that's nice. It's nice to see the damage from those, and you know what systems are getting damaged. And I'm hoping they might tell the effects or something like that. Won't know till tomorrow when this drops. We also have 4 added the feature to change the login theme. You can go to settings on the login screen to select the login themes and change the dynamic background of the login screen. It's a nice change. I've got nothing really to say about it. If you don't like the current login screen, which I quite like, it's got some nice little screenshots that all have like some sort of movement to them and stuff like that, which is cool. And there's like this big ring world one, which I really like. I think that was from the Earth Day event as well, though. But yeah, no, they are nice. So it's a nice little added bonus, I guess, for us. 5. Optimized the way to calculate the Union's honor rankings when attacking a space station. The data of engagements with every fleet affiliated to the space station will be included in the calculations of the rankings. I don't know if this will take into account, you know, when you attack, say, a city and you have the blockade spawn. I don't know if it'll take those into account as well or not. I hope they do, because I get stuck into those battles quite a lot and then I miss the main battle because my ships have been devastated. But yeah, hopefully this will it's just a nice change. It doesn't affect the game, unfortunately, though. 6. Added the new appearance of the models of fighters and corvettes after the blueprints version number reached a certain amount. This to me sounds like when you max out a corvette or fighter, we now get some kind of special magic skin for him, similar as if you max out ships. I'm guessing this is the same thing. We finally got it for fighters and corvettes. I actually quite like this because I love the visual aspect of this game. It is definitely on the prettier side of mobile games, and yeah, so anything that, you know, visually appealing is always welcome. 8. Optimize the description of some quests in the Neutrals Agreement. Yeah. Changes how it's worded, so it's fine. And adjustments on the Animoji feature. Adjusted the cooldown for uploading images to 48 hours from 24. I still have yet to upload an emoji or an emoji to the game. So yeah, it doesn't really affect me. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, upload zillions of them, so they're probably not going to be too happy that it's going to take them an extra 24 hours to upload and a subsequent image. Got a few bug fixes. We got fixed an issue where some ship-based weapons would abnormally switch target when attacking low priority systems. I don't personally see this, but then I don't run much in the way of system damage fleets. I do tend to run a lot more on blow up the ship and get it out of the way, as opposed to cripple the ship and hope it's, you know, something decent crippled. 2. Fix an issue where attackers would incorrectly lock onto the aircraft system under certain circumstances. Again, I haven't personally seen this. I think the only thing in my current fleet that does system damage are Stingrays, like, specifically. So yeah, I don't obviously see many of these. I actually haven't heard of issues of these either, so I don't know. I don't know how big of an issue these really were. 3. Fix an issue where the funding quests issued by the Neutrals Agreement were contradictory to the passage permissions of the building areas. Yep. I have no real idea what that is meant to mean at all. I read through the Neutrals Agreement, and I don't quite understand whether passive permissions of the building areas is, or contradiction to that anyway, is mentioned, or yeah. So, unfortunately, can't help you on the last one. That is outside of my translation capabilities. But there we go. Buffs to Corvettes, which is absolutely not needed. If anything, Swarm fleets need a heavy nerf. But yeah, I keep pressuring them. Let's hopefully we can get some changes so we can have some more varied gameplay, except running Swarm fleets. But you know, maybe if everyone in the Discord all bugs them to nerf Swarm fleets, and maybe that'll work. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is just a very quick one. Get this out, and yeah, catch you guys next time.